Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful recap is finally in for Friday, August 8, 2025. In today's episode, Grace Buckingham, Cassandra Creech, confesses. Sheila Carter Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, finds Luna Nozowa, Lisa Yamada. Plus, Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, is accused of being on drugs. With John Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, standing next to her, Grace admits Liam never had a tumor. Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and Liam Spencer's, Scott Clifton, mouths fall open. They are misunderstanding, so Grace just smiles at Finn. Lopi continues gushing about Grace being a saint. This is making her feel guilty. Finn tells Liam to stop talking and let Grace make her statement about the brain tumor. Grace says she did something. The scans took longer than they should have. She changed the brain scans. The doctor is ashamed, but Liam is confused. Hope is confused, too. The tumor was never there, Grace blurts out. Liam is shocked. He never had cancer. What about the symptoms? Those were real. Liam says he did have brain cancer. Grace says there was never any tumor. Hope brings up the operation. The doctor says she just made it look like she performed surgery. Liam shows her the incisions. Finn clarifies that the incisions were small. Hope demands to know how nobody caught this. The prescriptions caused Liam's symptoms so Grace could cure him. The patient wants to know why Grace would do that. Hope sneers and brings up a million reasons. Everyone freezes for a few moments, then Liam tries to tackle Grace. Finn stops him as Grace jumps back. Finn is struggling to stop Liam from tearing Grace apart. The doctor starts to cry as if she's the victim. Hope cries and holds Liam as he has a vengeful glare in his eyes. Liam tells Grace not to start with her ashamed speech. She terrorized Liam and put his family through hell. Grace says it's because of Reese Buckingham, Wayne Brady. He owed thugs a lot of money, and so they came after her. They threatened Paris Buckingham, Diamond White, and Zoe Buckingham, Kiara Barnes. Grace brings up Hope's children. Liam calls it extortion. Hope goes up to the doctor and slaps her. Hope says first Reese, now her. You're sick. Liam says Grace robbed him and his family of months of their lives. Grace says she's going to turn herself in. Finn will tell them everything after he takes Grace to the police station. Katie Logan, Heather Tom, and Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, talk about Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K. rescuing Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang. The brunette brings up Liam. Bill credits Grace as a hero. It was worth every dollar, Bill says. That makes KV look confused. Bill explains that's what the treatment cost. And he would have paid more to save Liam. Katie thinks it's all kinda strange. Bill knows he can't make up for getting Luna Nozowa, Lisa Yamada, out of prison. As if Liam's cancer wasn't enough. Then, Grace offered a miracle. Sheila asks why Lai has all the medical supplies if she's on leave from the hospital. The waitress begs for the location of Luna's remains. Lai says she doesn't have time for this and leaves with her purse of drugs. Sheila trips following Lai and stops, realizing it's a bottle of pills. Sheila looks at the medication and thinks to herself. Lai is sitting with a comatose Luna. There is a knock on the door. Lai asks who it is and Sheila uses a fake voice to say, delivery. The doctor didn't order anything. Sheila gets her to open the door, but she hides Luna behind a curtain. Sheila tries to force her way in when Luna cracks open the door. Sheila keeps pushing and knows what Lai has done, and tells her so. Lai won't let her in. Sheila takes out the pills and claims she needs those. She's grieving for Luna. Oh dear, Sheila has the completely wrong idea. Lai, drugs aren't the answer. The doctor denies being on drugs, but Sheila insists on talking. Lee asks her to go and Sheila agrees, then shoves the door open and gets inside. What is going on, Lai? The doctor orders her to leave. Sheila asks about the curtain. When Sheila rips away the curtain, she sees Luna opening scene, Grace under fire. The episode opens with Grace Buckingham pacing the floor of Forrester Creations' design office, her hands trembling as she clutches a file. The room is too quiet, the kind of stillness that lets every footstep echo like a drumbeat. She knows today will change everything. Ridge walks in first, followed by Brooke, and both immediately clock the tension in Grace's face. Ridge tries his usual casual charm, but Grace blurts it out before she loses her nerve. "Grace, I have to tell you something, and you're not going to like it." Brooke's eyes narrow. She's seen this look before, the kind that precedes either a full-blown scandal or a heartbreaking confession. Grace reveals that she's been holding back critical information about Liam's recent medical situation. Her voice wavers as she admits that she helped facilitate a diagnosis she wasn't entirely sure was accurate. She did it, she explains, to give Liam time to think clearly about his relationships. Which sounds far too much like she meddled with a man's health for personal reasons. Ridge is livid, his jaw tightening. He's a man who has been in the line of fire for his own questionable decisions, but this feels bigger. Brooke, however, hears something in Grace's tone: fear. This wasn't just a mistake, it was desperation. The weight of guilt. Grace tries to justify herself, saying Liam's condition wasn't life-threatening but that the emotional clarity it gave him could have saved him from making a disastrous choice. Brooke's suspicion deepens. "Brooke, Grace, you're talking like you wanted to control his decisions. That's not medicine, that's manipulation." Grace's voice cracks as she says she did what she thought was right at the time, but now realizes she might have put herself and Liam in legal danger. And then she drops the bomb. She wasn't the only one who knew. She glances at the door as if expecting someone else to walk in. Brooke and Ridge exchange a glance. If this involves more than one person, the fallout could be catastrophic. Cut to the Cliff House. Sheila's predatory calm. Meanwhile, in a quiet moment by the beach, Sheila Carter is on the hunt. But not for Finn this time. Today, her prey is Luna Nozawa. Sheila, dressed in a deceptively soft sweater and jeans, approaches Luna outside Il Giardino. The young designer is focused on her phone, texting RJ about a sample delivery, when she hears a low, almost friendly voice. "Sheila, you're Luna, right? Poppy's daughter." Luna freezes. The way Sheila says her name feels like a velvet rope tightening around her throat. Sheila insists she only wants to talk, but her body language says otherwise. She circles Luna like a cat, dropping small references to the Nozawa family, details she shouldn't know unless she's been digging. Luna tries to keep her voice steady, but her hands clutch her bag tighter. Sheila starts spinning a web, talking about family secrets and things mothers keep from their daughters. She hints that she knows about a certain night Luna doesn't remember clearly, the one tied to the infamous Mint scandal. "Sheila, sometimes the truth about our lives isn't what we think. Sometimes it's darker, and sometimes it's someone we love who hides it." Luna finally snaps that she's late for a meeting and storms off, but not before Sheila slips something into her bag, a folded piece of paper with an address. Luna doesn't notice. Back at Forrester, Lee's calm, chilling denial. Cut to Lee Finnegan in the hospital, flipping through a patient file in her office. Finn stops by, trying to have a casual conversation about his shift, but he's distracted. He's heard whispers that certain sedatives have gone missing from the supply room, and the inventory log points to Lie's clearance code. Lee plays it off with a polite, almost condescending smile. "Lie, Finn, you know better than to think I'd misuse medication." But Finn can see the faint flicker in her eyes. The same flicker he remembers from when she kept Sheila hidden away after the shooting. When Finn pushes, Lie's tone sharpens. She insists the missing drugs were used for legitimate patient needs, and that hospital bureaucracy often misplaces entries. But the conversation ends with Finn looking unconvinced. As he leaves, Lie opens her desk drawer, and inside is a small, neatly organized box of vials. Not hospital-issue packaging, private stock. Grace's confession grows. Back at Forrester, Grace finally admits the second person who knew about Liam's diagnosis. Lie. The revelation lands like a thunderclap. Brooke gasps, and Ridge mutters under his breath, "Of course." Grace explains that Lie advised her not to question the initial test results, even when Grace had doubts. Lie told her it was better for everyone if Liam stayed away from certain emotional triggers, namely Hope and Steffi. Ridge's fury is immediate, but Brooke is more shaken than angry. If Lie was involved, this wasn't just medical negligence, it could be intentional manipulation. Luna's anxiety peaks. Luna finally gets to the Forrester office, clearly rattled from her encounter with Sheila. She avoids eye contact, rushing to her desk and muttering about needing to meet RG later. RG senses something is wrong. He gently asks if she's okay, but Luna brushes him off, saying she's just tired. As she leaves the room to grab a fabric sample, the folded paper Sheila planted falls out of her bag. RG picks it up, unfolds it, and frowns. It's an address in a rough part of town, with one line scrawled across it, "For when you want to know the truth." Sheila watches. Outside, Sheila sits in her car, watching through the tinted glass as RG stares at the note. She smiles. Not her usual manic grin, but something colder, calculated. She knows curiosity will gnaw at them both until they come to her. Finn's unease. Back at the hospital, Finn can't shake his unease about Lie. He confides in Steffi, who listens but tries to stay diplomatic. Steffi says Lie might just be protecting her patients and reputation, but Finn points out that Lie has crossed lines before. Finn. If she's keeping drugs in her desk, it's not for her patients. It's for control, and I think she's already using it. Steffi's expression hardens. She's seen Lee's ruthlessness up close. If she's driving people for leverage, then this isn't just a family issue. It's criminal. Grace's breaking point. Grace meets privately with Brooke after Ridge leaves to deal with Lie. She's visibly shaken, saying she didn't realize how far things had gone until now. She worries Lie might have her own agenda, one that goes beyond Liam. Brooke asks why Grace didn't come forward sooner, and Grace admits she was afraid. Afraid of losing her license, afraid of Lie's influence at the hospital, and afraid of what might happen if Liam learned the truth. The cliffhanger, 3 lives on the edge. The episode ends with 3 tense beats. At Forrester, Archie slips the note into his pocket, deciding not to tell Luna, for now. At the hospital, Lie locks her office and walks out with a small box of vials in her purse. In her car, Sheila calls someone and says, "It's done. She'll come to me, they always do." Preview for Monday. Rich confronts Lie about the drug inventory. Luna debates whether to tell RG about her run-in with Sheila. Grace receives an anonymous text, "You should have kept quiet." Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our BOLD and BAU to me UPDAT YouTube channel for more update news.